From Belhaven University, the Southern State Showcase is just around the corner. John Nelson here, Nicole Morocco joining us in a bit. We'll find out everything that's going on with all that noise behind us and everything else going on in the Southern States. The showcase starts right now.
The Southern State Showcase on Sports South.
From Peachtree Street, not that one, the one in Jackson, Mississippi, and Belhaven University. Another edition of the Southern State Showcase is now officially underway here in the spring semester. John Nelson here, Nicole Morocco joining us in just a sec. Time for the A Block lead. Top story this week, we go to Montgomery, Alabama to catch up with one of the most successful tennis programs, not only in the Southern States, but in the entire NAIA as they chase after yet another national championship.
A sports dynasty is defined as a team that dominates their sport or league for multiple seasons or years. With that being said, the AUM men's and women's tennis teams are considered sports dynasties. The women have won a total of 12 national championships, 8 of those coming in the past 9 years. The men have won a total of 9, 6 of them in the last 10 years. When you walk into the gym on campus, you are flooded with the sight of national championship banners.
Pretty impressive. I mean, there's a lot of them, but what mainly my thought was, I want to contribute to another banner. You know, definitely want to. I mean, if it's different when you're in a team that can actually achieve national titles. It kind of drives you to live for those expectations.
And looking at all the banners of how many national titles they'd won, obviously I realised I had a lot to live up to and there was expectation, but that's something that's motivating and that's why you want to play.
The men have produced 107 All-Americans, the women 112. Every year there is so much talent on both teams. The athletes are in constant competition with each other every day in practice, which prepares them to take on any team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's been a lot of talent. I mean, we're kind of fortunate to have a lot of people interested in coming. And, you know, once they come, they realize that they're going to be in a team that's very competitive, that every position they play is going to be a challenge. And the key here is just to have players that are willing to commit to the program.
Every athlete at AUM strives to be the best on and off the court. And when Coach Rolando Vargas took over both teams 3 years ago, it was his goal to not only maintain the high level of play on the court, but prepare these athletes to be the best they can be off the court.
The program has been really successful. There've been a lot of championships, a lot of All-Americans. But when I first came in, you know, I knew there was going to be expectation, but I wanted to kind of have good discipline with the players, and, you know, also I wanted to tell them to set up goals, and my goal is also not to win titles, but to win in life.
Every year, both teams meet before the season and go over goals, and every year, they have the same one.
Every year it's the same thing, a national title, so obviously we realise that we've got to work for it.
To win a national championship. That's it. To win a SSAC championship and a national championship.
That's it for our top story this week on the showcase. We come back, we'll let you know what else is going on around the conference, and we'll catch you up with what's going on here at Belhaven. The showcase continues after this.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on one plate. like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time, so find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
Welcome back to the Southern State Showcase here at Belhaven University in Jackson, Mississippi. And as Nicole and I get to travel the Southeast, we get to see a lot of really cool places and get to talk to a lot of really cool people. One of the coolest places we've come across this year is at Spring Hill College.
When you think of the vast history of America's favorite pastime, thoughts of Fenway Park or Wrigley Field come to mind. In college baseball, there's a stadium that has equal history, and it's been in use for over 100 years. In fact, since 1889. It's the oldest active baseball stadium in America, and it sits square in the middle of the campus at Spring Hill College.
The guys from Rio Grande were just amazed by it. Most teams who've never been here before are just amazed by the ivy on the walls and the old building next to it, and it's just the uniqueness of it.
If you're a baseball purist and you enjoy the roots and the history and the tradition of the game, there's no better place to play a college baseball game than Stan Galley Field.
The field is named in honor of Stan Joseph Galley, who coached the Badgers for 27 years, in addition to playing 13 games in the major leagues and 8 seasons in the minors. Over the years, the field has seen tremendous improvements, never compromising its tradition. But a decade ago, lights were added, and now there's something new on Friday nights.
Something magic about night games here. I mean, you can tell, the players will tell you that. Even me being here all this time, you know, it's just it's so pretty here, sunset. You know, when the sun sets behind me, behind right field, and it's just gorgeous. But there's something about a Friday night game that's just, I don't know what it is. There's an it factor, and it's fun to play. Our kids get up for it. I think the other teams get up for it. So I think it's a mutual feeling. I think teams like to play here.
Great players throughout history have donned this diamond. It was once a favorite exhibition stop for the Chicago Cubs on their way to spring training. Babe Ruth even brought his bat once. The biggest folklore of the field was a young Mobile native named Hank Aaron, who used to sneak up late night with his contemporaries, Satchel Paige and Willie McCovey, to play pickup games.
There's so many players that's played on this field. It's amazing. I don't know how I told somebody the other day, I said, do you realize how many great players have played on this field? You know, just legends. I mean, Babe Ruth was out here, and Hank Aaron, and all those guys, Satchel Paige. Can you imagine? I mean, it's just such a neat, we tell all our recruits that, you know, so that's a neat thing.
When you're in the dog days of the fall, it's real easy to kind of sit back and forget all the same people that would have been on the mound with you. I mean, sometimes I tell our guys, you're stepping on the same mound that Satchel Paige might have been on, or you know, I mean, that really takes a lot into the effect of, you know, really remembering the people that came before you and the people that come after you. And coaching here now, like I said, it's just, I really want to go out and I really want these guys to know every day who you represent and to kind of leave the place in a better position than when you found it.
With the beauty and history of this diamond, it's not surprising that Galley Field has become a favorite stop for visiting teams.
You know, Stan Galley Field is one of the most unique treasures, I think, that are on any college campus anywhere in the country. Every team that comes to play on our field is just mesmerized by that venue and that facility that our athletes get to play on a daily basis.
Standing on Galley Field is much like taking a step back in time and grabbing a piece of baseball history. Reporting from Spring Hill College for the Southern States Showcase, I'm Scott Singer.
And that's a very small sample of the great history of Galley Field at Spring Hill College. 2 stories down. When we come back, we'll let you know what's going on here at Belhaven as the Southern State Showcase continues after this.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on one plate. Like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time. So find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Welcome back to the Southern States Showcase, spring semester style from Belhaven University here in Jackson, Mississippi. You've been hearing a lot of noise behind me as we've been doing the show this week, and it's because there's a lot of construction going on, especially to 100-year-old Fitzhugh Hall, a project very close to Dr. Roger Parrott's heart. Let's find out what else is going on here at Belhaven. The largest amount of noise on the Belhaven campus is coming out of what was first thought, then necessity. The renovation of 100-year-old Fitzhugh Hall, one of the centerpieces of the university grounds, a project near and dear to President Dr. Roger Parrott's heart, but out of the necessity comes a lot of promise.
Out of that has come a brand new science building that's going to be open this fall. We're thrilled about that because we have a great program in science. 100% acceptance rate in the medical school. Nobody misses. Our programs are top-notch, but they're operating out of old facilities. So this is going to give us first-rate facilities. But the other really good part was, all of a sudden, we're moving out of science facilities we've had for a long time, and we've been trying for 10 years to start a nursing program, and it just opened the perfect space for nursing.
And in what is called by Dr. Parrott the orchestration of the pieces, Belhaven students get to experience the worldview curriculum, an integration of all the sections of learning completely intertwined to make sense of the whole process. Fields of study before then may have been fragmented, but at Belhaven, the worldview brings them all together for a harmonic learning experience.
Our worldview curriculum started about a dozen years ago when we got tired of the old process of education where you take a history course, you take a literature course, you take a philosophy course, art appreciation course, and the pieces never fit together. And that's how I went to school. It's how everybody went to school. And we said, that's a crazy way to learn, especially with this generation, which is cohesive in the way that they take in information and are able to cross-pollinate that information. And so we redid everything in what we call our worldview curriculum, where they study the history of the world over a 2-year period, and then they link that with their literature course, their philosophy course, or art appreciation, music appreciation. So literally in the same weeks, they're studying the history of the Renaissance. They're also reading the authors of the Renaissance. They're studying the philosophers of the Renaissance. They're listening to music. They're studying the art. They're seeing, we have a course called Ideas, where they see how the big ideas fit together. And in that, it gives them a different perspective of education.
Some would think that changing the course so drastically would have been a tough sled. It was, but everyone worked together on the effort, and Dr. Parrott could not be more pleased with the results.
Well, our faculty really captured the idea, because that's how they think and that's how they look at the world. So they had the same frustrations. And so when the idea was proposed, and although it was a lot of work for them, they really took it and put life and breath into it. And, you know, education, the front line of it's what the faculty does. And I can talk about stuff, we can put stuff in the brochure, our board can set policies. It doesn't matter if the faculty don't do it. We got a faculty here who just love students, want to be involved with them, and they want the best for them. So they were willing to do the hard work to put this thing in place, and it really went fairly easily. And they continue to try to find ways to improve and strengthen it, and it's given us that kind of national recognition for it.
All of the actions by everyone on campus have another place where the curriculum is concerned, the integration of the university mission, and rest assured, the two go hand in hand.
Ideas are who we are, and what you believe shapes how you live, it shapes what you value, it shapes your goals, your priorities. And so for students to understand the Christian worldview ideas and how they fit within the context of society through the ages, and how our Christian worldview is distinctive now, we think is the best way to understand God's understanding of the world and also to understand our personal perspective.
Athletically, Belhaven has seen its shares of success, some shown right here on the showcase, culminating in a national title for the Blazers in soccer. A great source of pride, no doubt, for a lot of points of pride on the mantle in 2012 and 2013.
What our student athletes were able to accomplish and our coaches' leadership they gave, obviously competitively, the men's soccer national title is still a bit surreal. Now it's settled some. We've had a lot of fun celebrating it, and we still are. As a matter of fact, our national championship rings will be in the middle of March, and so I was talking with Coach Mack this afternoon about our best place for us to present those to the team, and we did posters. We've gotten posters done where we'll have the team sign those just for mass distribution, and so having a lot of fun with that. But also even in other sports, I mean, volleyball set a program record for wins this past fall. Football, we were 1 yard away from winning the Western Division title of the conference. I mean, just that close to the playoffs potentially in football, which we've never gotten there. And just watching the competitive level of all of our sports continue to grow is exciting, and is a credit to our campus community, obviously the leadership of our coaches, but at the end of the day, it's the student athletes they're the ones who got to bring it on the field.
You know, I've been involved in NAIA sports for 30 years in administration, and first time I've had to be part of a national championship. I've always heard my peers talk about it. I've heard coaches talk about it, and I thought, well, that'd be nice. I didn't know what a big deal it was. It's the most fun thing we've done. I love it. Let's go get another one and another one after that, because it really has done something for our campus, for this community, for national recognition in the lives of these players, and to see them overcome all they did to win that and play against the top teams in the country to win that. Any one of those teams could have won. They were all good at that level. And for us to have the victory on it was just thrilling and exciting. The chance to celebrate on campus, the chance to make it meaningful, the chance to lift up that team, and I just love it. So I'm all geared up to go again.
Yet another point of developing pride is the sports administration program on campus. Belhaven's belief is that sports is getting away from what it once was as a teaching tool and a learning experience. Now more than 200 students on campus are reaching back to try and rekindle the way for returning the life lessons to what they once were. A strong belief by Dr. Parrott.
We believe if you want to change society, you can do it more through sports than you can through a lot of other vehicles. Coaches have more impact on young people's lives than anybody else. We want to help coaches to understand there's a different way to coach from what you learn on television on Sunday as you watch the professional teams. and striving for big salaries and just going after this stuff that really doesn't matter other than immediate satisfaction. We want to help them to get that transformation that comes through coaching that you can't get through any other mechanism. So we've got over 225 students majoring in some kind of sports focus with us now, and an online master's degree in sports administration that anybody can take from anywhere around the world, because we are committed to the quality of what sports ought to be for the future and find it a great vehicle.
The university is in the process of adding sports, resources, and hopefully newer facilities to the Blazers' territories in the near future, but the addition of track and field is the new sport on campus, a place of focus for the spring and beyond for the program.
We have a pretty good idea of some of the places we would like to go. We also kind of operate off of a model that is it's a lot different than a lot of places, in that we like to do opportunity planning a little bit more than 10 and 20-year planning, because there are often things that come around through a conversation or a relationship or any number of things that we could not have forecasted 10 years out. And it doesn't mean you don't do 10-year planning, but I think it does mean that you kind of always have your ear to the ground. I think obviously we're always looking for the potential of starting new sports. I don't know all of what those are. Got some ideas. But that's something we're always watching. But we want to make sure if we're going to begin a new sport that that we can do it well.
That's a very small look at what's going on here at Belhaven. That's it for the C Block. We come back, we'll put a bow on yet another show here on the Southern State Showcase. But first, the Players of the Week.
The Players of the Week at the conference level for the week of February 25th are as follows. In men's basketball, the honor went to Loyola sophomore forward McCall Tomini. Tomini had a solid week, posting 20 points and 9 boards in a loss to Belhaven, and 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals in a loss to AUM. In women's basketball, it was Faulkner University senior forward Brittany Carter. Carter had a career-high 36 points against Spring Hill to help the Lady Eagles in securing their first ever national tournament berth. She posted 2 more double-doubles on the week and had 3 blocks and 4 steals. She was also named National Player of the Week by the NAIA. In men's tennis, it was AUM senior Tim Hewitt. Hewitt picked up 2 easy victories in AUM's 9-love win over then nationally ranked Lee. He dropped just 1 game at number 2 singles and has lost just 5 games in his 3 singles wins this season. He also had an 8-2 victory at number 1 doubles and is recognized by the ITA as the number 6 singles and number 1 doubles player in the NAIA. In women's tennis, it was AUM junior Jade Curtis. Curtis cruised to 2 victories in AUM's 9-0 win over then number 15 Lee. She remained undefeated in 2013 and has dropped a total of 3 games in her 2 wins. She's won 43 straight singles matches and 46 straight doubles matches in team competition dating back to 2011 and is recognized by the ITA as the 5th-ranked singles player and number 3rd-ranked doubles player in the country. In baseball, the honor went to Lee's senior 3rd baseman Karsten Strebe. He hit in every game last week, batting .526 with 9 RBI and a home run. He's hitting .438 for the year and has a slugging percentage over .700. The pitcher of the week was Spring Hill sophomore Jack Howard. Howard came into Game 3 of their series with Southern Wesleyan, down 6-0, and came back to win the game. He went 6 1/3, giving up only a hit, no runs, and 4 walks while he struck out 4. In softball, it was AUM sophomore Katie Spain. She went 5 for 6 at the plate in AUM's sweep of Talladega to continue her hot start. She had her first career multi-homer game and a career-high 5 RBI in the opener. She added her first triple of the season in the second game and now has 3 home runs in 2013 and is yet to commit an error at third base. She's leading the team in batting average, home runs and RBIs, and slugging percentage, which is also 3rd in the NAIA. The pitcher of the week was Spring Hill freshman Caroline Segrera. Segrera pitched a no-hitter with 15 strikeouts in just her 2nd collegiate start over Huntington College of Alabama.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on 1 plate. Like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time. So find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
There's a look at your rankings for your winter and your spring sports. You see a lot of yellow. That means only one thing. The Southern States, as always, well represented. Time to put a bow on yet another show from Belhaven University. We're going to stay in Jackson for one more week. Next time around, we're going to introduce you to the brackets for the men's and women's basketball championships as they head toward their finals. For Nicole Morocco, I'm John Nelson saying play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.